When a pattern calls for you to bind off in pattern, it really means it wants you to knit along your row or round the same way you normally would. However, you will bind off your stitches by having the first stitch you knit jump up and over the second stitch. Let me show you how.
Show me love. Show me love.
I have a basic 1x1 ribbing swatch here, and what I'm going to do is change colors so you can easily see the stitches I'm doing, and I will work in patterns. So I'm going to work in my ribbing pattern. So I will purl one and then knit one, and just like any regular bind off, once you get 2 stitches on your right hand needle, you want the first stitch you worked to jump up and over the second stitch. So I have my yarn to the back, grab that front or the back stitch and have it leapfrog up and over that front stitch. Can you see that? Now I have 1 stitch on the needle. Do not pull your yarn tight. Keep this stitch the same circumference as your needle. Go ahead and work the next stitch, which happens to be a purl. So I'll bring my yarn forward and I will purl that stitch. Bring my yarn back to the back, have the back stitch jump up and over the front stitch and off. The next stitch is a knit, so I knit it. My yarn is in back, have the back stitch jump up and over the front stitch. My next stitch is a purl, so I will purl it. Have the back stitch jump up and over the front stitch. You see how this is working up? So I am working in pattern in my work, and then I'm binding off the stitches as I go. As long as I do not give any extra tension right here after I work my bind off stitches will be the same tension, the same gauge as the actual stitches of the work. And it will lay really nice and beautifully on my project. I won't have any sort of a puckering or a flare out. Just remember, every time you bind off a stitch, move the yarn back to the back so it's out of the way. Bind off your stitch, and then just follow your pattern all the way down your row or around your work. Okay, I'm going to get down here to the very end so you can see how this looks. I knit the last stitch, that jumps over on this last stitch. All we're going to do now, I can grab my scissors. Here's a pro tip, put a pom-pom on your scissors and you'll never lose them. Get to the end, pull that, give it a little tug. You can weave this closed to tighten that up a little bit. There are other little tricks you can do, but you can see here my ribbing at the very end. See how it's not flared out? It looks really nice. It looks really great. It's going to lay nice and even on my work. And that is how you bind off in pattern. This is a 1x1 rib pattern, but this works in a 2x2 rib, a 3x1 rib, or any other pattern that you happen to be working along with. Give it a try.
Show me love. This is all we got. Show me love.